This wedding was an assignment for my Religion 2 class in Catholic.
This one's wife. The figures don't lie. POW has crushed TOW. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. The media likes to set up a supposed rivalry between the Princess of Wales and the Duchess of Sussex. There is a rivalry, albeit it really only goes in one direction. The Princess of Wales, expertly advised, understands the necessity of not being bothered by what this one's wife does, to consign her to irrelevance, to regard her as persona non grata as part of the implementation and maintenance of a no-contact regime in relation to that particular individual. This one's wife, by contrast, can't help but keep watching what the Princess of Wales does, because she is the nemesis. Holding a position that this one's wife believes ought to be hers, by virtue of her believing that she ultimately ought to be the Queen of the United Kingdom, that she should be the one that revels in popularity, adoration, that she should be the one that the people would love. She regards it as wholly unfair and representative of the awful nature of the Princess of Wales that she is the one that is in that revered position. She wants what Catherine has, but isn't able to get it, because she hasn't worked out, and she will never work out, that this is the fact that the way that she behaves has made her incredibly unpopular with numerous people, and she will never be able to change that. If you needed any weather vane to indicate the gulf between this one's wife and the Princess of Wales, to demonstrate how the popularity of the Princess of Wales crushes that of this one's wife, well, Daniela Elsa of news.com.au neatly sums it all up. She writes, "If you or anyone you know has a crystal ball, a reliable neighbourhood scryer, or the number of a halfway decent psychic, I think Buckingham and all palaces could do with a quick call. Divining exactly quite what the fates might have in store for the House of Windsor could come in very handy right about now. Who could have predicted that in only the last month Princess Anne would come far too close for comfort with the wrong end of a horse in a mysterious accident that 3 weeks on has left her face still bruised? Or that King Charles would be involved in a security incident involving Jersey cows and possibly a drone? Or that Kate, the Princess of Wales, could become, somehow, bigger? You would have to rewind all the way back to 2003 in Kate's hipster jeans years to get back to a time when she was not famous and she was not a mononym. I doubt that in the 1,052 weeks or so since she and Prince William were first photographed together, a single week has gone by when her face did not peer out at supermarket shoppers from the cover of tabloid mags next to the cash register. Yet, in 2024, the Princess of Wales has surpassed even that. In fact, Daniela Elsa has had a busy day with a calculator, can explain that the 3 videos released by Kensington Palace of the Princess this year have hit more than 165.8 million views. That demonstrates the level of popularity that she has. People aren't tuning in to watch by virtue of grudge watches. The majority are watching because they like the Princess of Wales. They're interested in her. Yes, there may well be some members of the Sussex squad that watch wanting to criticise, but it's clear from the comments that are provided, the likes that originate, that she is hugely popular. And just 3 videos having 165.8 million views dumps all over what this one's wife has sought to achieve by way of publicity. Elsa continues by explaining that the Princess of Wales's reappearance on Sunday for the men's finals at Wimbledon only the second time the princess has been seen in public this year, offers us some cold, hard proof of this, with the outing triggering a wild response on social media. 41 million. That's the number of times that the videos of Kate at the tournament shared by the official Wimbledon and Kensington Palace Instagram accounts have been viewed. 41 million. Did you hear that shriek from Monty Shit Show? Yes. Catherine isn't a narcissist and therefore doesn't need fuel. But it is gratifying to know that you're popular. It is gratifying to know that people take an interest. And whilst she has been advised not to focus on this one's wife, undoubtedly she will have a degree of satisfaction of knowing just how much it gets under the skin of this one's wife, that her videos are watched so much in comparison to that of this one's wife, where not only are they not particularly watched, the number of dislikes outweighs the number of likes considerably, as I explained in a video yesterday in relation to the ESPY Awards. Add in the numbers from X, and the total across both platforms and both accounts is just shy of 50 million views. Now, they might not necessarily be at Kardashian levels, but Elsa makes the point that Kate is going global in a way that she has never done so before. Oh, sure, in years gone by, the US and the world outside of the UK and the Commonwealth cared about royal weddings and babies, the big moments, the sorts of events that would see the commemorative teaspoon industry crank back up. But Kate doing her day job and going to an official thing, Kate going to an event that she's been to 11 times before, and at which all she does is sit and then hand over an awkward gold cup. Hardly. In normal times, that's not getting 50 million views. The ace card here was the Princess of Wales' big comeback in June for Trooping the Colour. This year, the single video released by Kensington Palace of the event was viewed 50.8 million times. While their office didn't post one last year, the video of the last time that the Waleses were on the Buckingham Palace balcony for the King's coronation got less than half of that, with 22.1 million views. Here comes the explains bit, because to understand these surging figures, you have to step back and take a long view at how spectacularly and unpredictably things have changed for Kate in only 5 years. Back in 2019, there were intermittent burblings about all not being well between the Waleses and Prince Harry and this one's wife. They had split their offices and private lives, the Sussexes moving an hour away to Windsor, but by and large, Kate was still the slightly opaque cipher she had long been. Her public image was of a sweet, caring, nice girl doing some nice charity work and turning out nice children. And then, well, everything happened. Megxit and the pandemic and Oprah Winfrey and Spare and Netflix, and Kate launched her own foundation and dramatically ramped up the seriousness of her work. As the princess's personal and private lives underwent various convulsions and shifts, the world had a front row seat. Most obviously, Kate was dumped as one of the front row players in the biggest soap opera in the world. Post-Megxit, the Sussexes' eagerness to ventilate their feelings and the events that had transpired behind palace gates brought Kate to life in a way fleshing her out as an actual person, taking her from being somewhat of a very pretty sphinx to rendering her in colour in a way she'd never been before. As this was happening, that horrid virus that forced us all inside to moon about, marinating in ennui and Uber Eats boxes, was rampaging across the globe, and the Waleses stepped up. They invited the world inside their Anma Hall home, and did things like calling the bingo via Zoom for pensioners and joking with other parents about the joys of homeschooling. The world started to see an unscripted princess, unmediated and direct, live on Zoom and from their living room. Post-perfection was replaced with realness, and courtesy of the Sussexes' revelations, her being freighted with a cultural resonance and weight she had not previously. In 2021, her launch of the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood started to add real substance to her image and public standing too. And then came 2024. The first few months of this year were wholly consumed by the utter Fruit Loopy Kate Gate madness, the princess suddenly becoming the 21st century's answer to Amelia Earhart. The Wales' Adelaide cottage became social media's grassy knoll, as much of the world underwent some sort of deserves-to-be-studied collective hallucinatory experience. Then, with the revelation that Kate has cancer, a moment that demanded even more vehement synonyms than shocking being hauled out. The princess took on a certain tragic yet brilliantly brave heroic quality. Like her mother-in-law, Princess Diana, like her mother-in-law, Diana, Princess of Wales, she's morphed over the years from liked in the UK and Commonwealth to adored in the UK and Commonwealth to global celebrity to mythical figure, which Elsa reckons is how we land at the fact that Kate's videos are viewed more than 223 million times in 2024 so far. That is across official royal and Wimbledon accounts, across X and Instagram, and of her cancer announcement, trooping, outing, and appearance at the tennis. And it's worth pointing out here, we've not even factored in numbers from TikTok, where Kate and royal content is rife, because none of the royal offices have accounts on the platform. 223 million times. That number does not speak to cursory interest or mild curiosity, but the Princess of Wales having become an object of pervasive, global fascination to an unprecedented degree. The world is indisputably hooked on Kate. Those are the observations of Daniela Elsa. The figures don't lie. And there's a certain someone, somewhere, who would kill to have such level of popularity, to have such a level of viewing figures, to be described in such terms of being pervasive and that the world is hooked on them. This one's wife, were she to read this article, would be consumed in her hatred for Kate. The fact that it's her and not this one's wife, she cannot understand why she isn't the one that's been spoken about in such terms. And all it does is continue through her narcissism, cause her to rail against Kate, and continue on her own march towards obscurity. The figures don't lie. The Princess of Wales has crushed this one's wife in the popularity stakes. And no matter what vitriol the sugars might fling at Catherine, the disgusting comments that they make, they just evaporate into the ether, for the figures of popularity speak for themselves. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.